To address climate change, we need collective action. We need everyone to commit towards reducing emissions. And Paris did that. Paris did exactly that. It got people sitting on a table, and that is something that Kyoto could not do. The problem is that Paris is, as you said, it lacks, it's not binding, and it means that if countries do not do what they said they would do, then there's really nothing that will be done to them. And so Paris is more about reputation. So a country that's doing very well will be praised. People will love it. People will they'll talk about it at the COP. But I think that's the best you get. Not really the best, because if you're doing more, you get to attract good partners. You get more friends. So that's what Paris means. You're not fined. You're not taken to court for not meeting your targets. But also the binding bit there's another binding bit for Paris, where you have to submit ambitions. Every 5 years you have to come back and say that 5 years ago I said I would reduce my emissions by X%, and for the next 5 years I will reduce my emissions by X plus 10%. And so the binding bit is that you have to increase your ambitions, but you don't have to, they don't decide by how much you increase your ambitions. And so Paris is very much flexible. I think the approach overall is quite good, but it lacks the level of ambition that we need. So the UNFCCC did an assessment recently and found that, so 2020 was supposed to be the year when countries submitted revised ambitions. And the UNFCCC did an assessment and found that whatever was submitted was just not enough to keep warming to 1.5 or even 2 degrees. And so that is the problem, that there's just not enough ambition. And I think the COP will have to think about, how do we get countries to commit towards greater ambition within the framework of the Paris Agreement, because it got people on the table, and that's a very good thing. We got both rich and poorer countries, coming together and saying that they will do they will do whatever they can. And that's something we hadn't seen before.